Hello friends, welcome to my channel Make It Easy Chemistry. This is the lecture number 3 in which we are going to discuss schematic diagram of mass spectrometer. Generally, a typical mass spectrophotometer consists of 3 parts: an ion source, a mass analyzer, and a detector. The function of the ion source is to produce ions from the sample. The ionizer converts a portion of the sample into ions. There is a wide variety of ionization techniques depending on the phases. If the sample is solid, there is a different way to ionize it. If it is liquid, and the gas likewise. The efficiency of various ionization mechanisms for the unknown species is there. So, the method in which this ionization is brought depends on the phase of the particular sample as well as the efficiency of the various ionization mechanisms. So, mass analyzer, this is an extraction system which removes the ions from the sample, and then these ions are targeted through the mass analyzer onto the detector. So, what is the function of this mass analyzer? The function of the mass analyzer is to separate the ions with their different mass to charge ratio. The differences in masses of the fragments allows the mass analyzer to sort the ions by their mass to charge ratios. The detector. Then the number of different ions are detected by the detector. The detector measures the value of an indicator quantity and thus provides data for the calculation of the abundances of these different ions. The output is said to be the mass spectrum. It is a graph, as we said earlier, of intensity, which is indicating the relative abundance of the ions versus the mass to charge ratio. The graph from which the chemists are able to draw certain clues regarding the structure of the particular compound and of course the ions produced by that compound. So the ion source, the first part in the mass spectrophotometer, the ion source is a part of the spectrophotometer that ionizes actually the material under the analysis. The material under the analysis is said to be the analyte. The ions are then transported by magnetic or electric field to the mass analyzer. The techniques due to which the ionization is brought into the effect, these are the keys to determine the types of the samples which can be analyzed by this mass spectrophotometer. Electron ionization is one type and chemical ionization is another type. These are used for gaseous or vaporous molecules. So, what are the different ways of ionization? First type of ionization is electron ionization. Simply, there is a bombardment of the sample with electrons. As we can say here, the compound AB is bombarded with electrons and there is a formation of the molecular cation. So this is the first way in which the ionization can be brought into the effect, that is electron ionization. Another way is a chemical ionization. In this particular method, a reagent gas like methane or ammonia or isobutane, these are ionized by electron impact. The ions are formed from these species, that's methane, ammonia or isobutane. And when these ions react with the sample molecules, they produce the ions which are called ions of the molecular species. The bigger ions are formed. So ionization of methane, ammonia or isobutane is there, and these ionization reagents the ions, they react with the sample molecules and there is a production of the ions. The reaction is as shown in this slide. Here there is a formation of the ions of the molecular species due to the proton transfer reaction between the cation formed due to the ionization of methane. Here the example is shown where there is a ionization of reagent gas, that is ammonia. Third method of ionization is electrospray ionization. In this particular method, the sample solution is sprayed across a high potential difference of a few kilovolts from a needle into the orifice in the interface. Heat and gas flows are used to dissolve the ion existing in the sample solution. So electrospray ionization often produces multiply charged ions with the number of charges tending to increase as the molecular weight increases. So this is the technique where multiply charged ions can be obtained. So this will further complicate the spectrum that is observed due to the analysis of such complex ionization method when it is used in the mass spectrometry. Next method in which the ionization can be brought out, it is the atmospheric pressure chemical ionization. In this method, the atmospheric pressure chemical ionization method, it contains a heated vaporizer that aids in the vaporization of the compound. It helps the ionization of the compound or the sample molecule. Most discussed method is the MALDI, that is matrix assisted laser desorption ionization. Here a compound is dissolved in a solution containing an excess of the matrix compound which absorbs at a laser wavelength. That is the matrix, the substance which is present in that solution itself, it absorbs the lesser wavelength of the radiations and the solution is placed on the laser target. A pulse of UV radiation of this mixture produces a plasma from the vaporization of both the matrix and the compound. So there is a matrix, the substance, which itself it gets excited and it causes the ionization of the sample when it is mixed in the particular solution. So all these methods are the methods of ionization which are used for the ionization of the molecule. And further, the second part, it receives these ions. It is called mass analyzer. There are many types of mass analyzers using either static or electric field, static or dynamic fields, magnetic or electric fields. Each analyzer type has its own strengths and weaknesses. Many mass spectrometers use 2 or more mass analyzers for tandem mass spectrometry. It is a combination of 2 or more mass analyzers together. The mass resolving power is the measure of the ability of the mass analyzer, that is to distinguish between the two peaks of slightly different mass to charge ratio. The sensitivity of this analyzer or the mass resolving power, the separating capacity of the mass analyzer is the characteristic property of the mass analyzer. So the mass accuracy is another term. Mass accuracy is the ratio of the mass to charge measurement error to the true mass to charge ratio. Mass accuracy is usually measured in ppm or millimass units. Less is the mass, this error, more is the accuracy of the instrument. So mass range is another characteristic property. It is the range of mass to charge ratio. This is amenable to analysis by the given analyzer. The linear dynamic range is the range over which the ion signal is linear with the analyte concentration. The speed, of course, is another characteristic of the mass analyzer. Speed refers to the time frame of the experiment, and ultimately it is used to determine the number of spectra per unit time that can be generated. So these are the different characteristic properties of mass analyzer: mass resolving power, mass accuracy, mass range, linear dynamic range, and the speed. The mass analyzers are compared, or we can say evaluated, depending on all these characteristic properties. Third important part of mass spectrophotometer is the detector. The final element of the mass spectrometer, that is the detector. The detector records either the charge induced or the current produced when the ion passes by or hits a surface. In a scanning instrument, the signal produced in the detector during the course of the scan versus where the instrument is in the scan at what mass to charge ratio will produce a mass spectrum. This is nothing but a record of ions as a function of mass to charge. So in the detector, what happens? The ions which are deflected according to their mass to charge ratio in the mass analyzer, these are separated in the mass analyzer, and these are hitting or passing by the surface of the detector. The number of different types of ions which are hitting that surface will produce the equivalent number of signals in the form of certain ionic signals, electric signals, like that, and those signals are identified by the detector, and the detector draws a graph of intensity versus the mass to charge ratio, and this graph is nothing but the mass spectrum which is obtained at the end of the spectrometric technique. Typically, some type of electron multiplier is used. How this signal is produced? Though other detectors include Faraday cups, ion to photon detectors also can be used in this technique. Typically, electron multiplier technique is used. That means uh, when the ion is produced, ion is deflected in the mass analyzer according to its mass to charge ratio. The number of ions formed of the same mass to charge ratio will produce certain signal in the terms of electron multiplication, and that signal is typically very small, and therefore the amplification of the signal due to electron multiplication is possible, and the visible signal is observed due to even the smallest number of cations produced in the mass spectrometric technique. So these ions are hitting the microchannel plates in the detectors, and these are commonly used in the modern commercial instruments of mass spectrometer. So the electron multiplication, Faraday cups, ion to photon detectors are used in the detectors. However, the amplification of the signal is necessary, and therefore the microchannel plate detectors are used in the modern mass spectrometric techniques. This is the schematic diagram. Here we can see the sample. The sample is being bombarded with the electron beam. The tungsten filament, it is shown here. It is bombarding this sample. There is an accelerator plate where the flow of ions is accelerated. The speed of the ions is enhanced. The slits are there to direct this beam of ions. The ion beam is passing through the magnets in the mass analyzer, where the deflection of the ions is occurring as If the ions are too heavy, they will bend too little. This is the flight tube through which the ions are passing, and only the ions of right mass or selected mass can enter the detector, because number of ions, if it is limited, it will be easy to analyze the mass spectrum. So this will be directed towards the detector slits, and the detector will be indicating or identifying the signal, and it is producing a mass spectrum. So this is the schematic diagram of mass spectrometer. So it is having three parts: ionizer, mass analyzer, and the detector. These are the three types of we can say parts of important parts of the mass spectrometer. Working of mass spectrometer. The working of mass spectrometer begins with the preparation of the sample. The mass spectrometry can analyze the samples in gaseous phase, liquids as well as solids. But for the analysis purpose, all these kinds of samples must be converted into the gaseous state. And therefore, the samples are introduced directly into the vacuum chamber, if at all these are gases or liquids, through a syringe. However, solid samples can be placed on the tip of the rod, which is then inserted into the vacuum chamber through a vacuum tight seal. The solid is sublimed or vaporized in the presence of heat. So, the sample, let it be a solid, liquid, or gas, all the three kinds of samples are to be analyzed only when these are vaporized or converted into gases. Usually the sample can be having certain kinds of impurities, and therefore if the sample is impure, it must be separated into its individual components prior to the analysis by the mass spectrometer. This is very important because itself the mass spectrum of the molecule is going to be a very complex spectrum, which is very tough to interpret. And therefore, if impurities are added into that sample, that will further complicate the mass spectrum. And so, to have a specific study of the molecule itself, we have to purify this sample. The separation of the pure molecule is necessary, since the mixture will generate many overlapping peaks, and that will be further complicating the study of the mass spectrum. So most commonly for the purification purpose, the gas chromatographic technique is utilized in together with the mass spectrometer. So chromatogram is generated that shows the individual components, and then the individual component is then selected for the analysis with the mass spectrophotometer. So GCMS, that is gas chromatography combined with mass spectrometry, GCMS. This is one technique. If at all liquid is there, LCMS technique is also there, liquid chromatography combined with the mass spectrophotometry. So the modern instruments are already available having combination of either gas chromatography or liquid chromatography along with the mass spectrometry. The integrated equipments are available in the market, and therefore these are able to purify the compound sample and then further analyze the individual compound or individual molecule. The positive ions are accelerated through the accelerating plates. The magnetic field separates the ions by their mass to charge ratio, and by varying the magnetic field, the abundance of each mass is detected. A detector records the mass to charge ratio, and this information is given to the mass spectrum. The overall working of mass spectrometer is like this. A little amount of the compound, typically 1 micromole or less, is evaporated. The vapors are passed through the ionization chamber so that there is a ionization of that vaporized molecules. The pressure is maintained of about 10 raised to minus 7 mbar. The vapor molecules are now ionized by an electron beam. A heated cathode, the filament, produces this beam. Ionization is achieved by loss of valence electrons. Mainly positive ions are produced due to this ionization. The positive ions are forced out of the ionization chamber by small positively charged voltages applied to the repeller opposing the exit slit. So the direction of the path is given to those ions which are produced in the ionization chamber. The positive ions are forced out of the ionization chamber, and after that ions which are left in the ionization chamber, these are accelerated by an electrostatic field of several hundreds or thousands of volts before they enter the analyzer. This is just to accelerate the ions produced in the ionization chamber. The separation of the ions takes place in the analyzer at the pressure of about 10 raised to minus 7 mbar. This is achieved by applying the strong magnetic field perpendicular to the motional direction of the ions. The fast moving ions then will follow a circular trajectory due to the Lorentz acceleration, whose radius is determined by mass to charge ratio of the ion and the strength of the magnetic field. In short, the ions are accelerated in this particular technique and the separation is achieved. So ions with different mass to charge ratio are forced through the exit slit as we have seen in the schematic diagram, and these are separated with the varying accelerating voltage by changing the magnetic field force. These are deflected in the mass analyzer. So after the ions have passed the exit slit, they collide with the collector electrode. The resulting current is amplified so that visible results may be obtained, and it is registered as a function of the magnetic field force or the accelerating voltage. So depending upon the number of the ions produced in the mass analyzer, deflected in the mass analyzer and detected by the detector, we can obtain a mass spectrum at the end of the analytical technique called mass spectrometry, whose schematic diagram we have seen. It is having three parts: ionization chamber, mass analyzer and detector. The sample in solid, liquid or gaseous phase, first of all it is purified with gas chromatographic technique or liquid chromatographic technique, and then a particular range of the molecules or simply simple or pure molecule is allowed to enter the ionization chamber, in which there is ionization of the molecule. The ions produced are directed towards the mass analyzer, where the ions are separated in the form of as per their mass to charge ratio, and they are further directed towards the detector. The detector produces the signal compared with the proportion of the ions produced or hitting that particular detector element, and there is a production of the mass spectrum. It is the graph of relative abundance against the mass to charge ratio. How we are going to get the ionization, what are the different types of ions produced during this ionization, and how these are producing the signals in the mass spectrum, how these are to be interpreted, how we are going to identify the different class of organic compounds based on the analysis of or interpretation of the mass spectra of these different ions, we are going to see in the next lecture. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe the channel Make It Easy Chemistry by Dr. Savita Desai. Thank you very much.